Hi, Ivan, lovely to meet you. Please could you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Ivan Downs and I'm the executive head chef and co-founder of Native Restaurant.
And could you explain a little bit how you ended up setting up Native?
So I founded Native about 12 years ago. It was, to create a restaurant that I wanted to eat in, first and foremost, to champion all the amazing produce that is, created all around the UK.
Why is Native so unique?
I think Native is unique because we truly work seasonally. We let the land dictate to us the menu, and we go out in the fields, the forests, forage, and come up with unique flavour combinations and nostalgic dishes using wild ingredients.
And we're sat in the garden at the moment. You've got a huge veg patch here, haven't you?
Yeah, we're super lucky. We've got an absolute abundance of amazing produce, from vegetables, fruit, flowers. And then the hedgerows surrounding us have, amazing elderflowers, damson trees. We've got a wild quince tree. So yeah, super lucky. Almost too much produce to use all at one time. So we're constantly trying to get through it all.
And obviously Eat Wild loves focusing on wild meat. Did you grow up eating wild meat?
So no, I grew up in South East London in Greenwich, and like most kids then I think I was eating wagon wheels and quavers and turkey twizzlers and all that stuff that Jamie Oliver banned, and I don't think I even knew really what a pheasant was until my parents left London, moved down to the countryside, and then I started learning about wild food, seeing wild birds and deer out in the countryside, and became kind of inquisitive. And once you start knowing what everything is, you see the world as like an edible landscape as opposed to just just green and green and green. So for me, I kind of very quickly fell in love with it. It was a way of cooking with really exciting ingredients, because I couldn't afford to go to Waitrose and buy truffle oils and amazing cheeses and bits and bobs like that. But I could cook with some unique ingredients that were out in the wild and at times can be free for you.
Yeah, I love that edible landscape phrase. That's awesome. And what is your favourite wild meat to cook?
My favourite wild meat to cook, I think it's probably pigeon. It was the original kind of wild game that I learned to cook with. I think for me it's better than a sirloin steak or a fillet steak. I'd rather eat a perfectly cooked pigeon breast. They're completely abundant. They take on all sorts of flavour really well. You can do anything with them pretty much. And it was the first dish we created for Native was the wood pigeon kebab. We used to make these amazing kind of pillowy flatbreads, beetroot hummus, our own kind of spicy harissa sauce, pickled cabbage, and then we'd just slip these wonderful slices of pigeon meat in, and we'd serve them on a street food stall in London. And it was great to get people from all walks of life come in and try and wood pigeon in a kebab, because I think it's important to try and serve game in a way that's like comfortable and accessible for people, so something they're familiar with. We serve just kind of whole a rabbit on a plate with its head on. People aren't going to kind of start eating it now. So for us, that pigeon kebab, everyone's had a pigeon kebab on a drunk night. Sorry, not a pigeon kebab. Everyone's had a kebab on a drunk night out. So for us, it was a perfect kind of way to start getting people to eat more game.
Obviously, you've had Native for 10 years now.
10 years, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think has been your most popular dish with punters? Sort of wild meat dish.
The most popular wild dish was definitely the squirrel lasagna. It went completely viral. So we put that on in 2018. Grey squirrel is a really important meat to consume, not the red squirrel. It's an invasive species. It is damaging trees, it's damaging habitats, it's damaging the kind of pheasant eggs and stuff like that, and bird numbers. So it needs to be consumed. It's an important meat to not put stress on the food chain. The squirrel lasagna was the most popular dish. It went completely viral. It was on page 3 of The Sun at one point. Piers Morgan requested to eat it on Good Morning Britain when he was on there. It was in Vice Canada on the BBC. People were kind of coming in for their holidays in London and were pointing at newspapers saying, we want to eat this, we want to eat this, and it went completely mad. And off the back of that, we went to Great British Menu and cooked on there, and it was brilliant. And we still have it on today when we can get hold of some nice grey squirrel,
which hopefully we're going to help you with
100%,
now.
Yeah, definitely.
And just a final quick question, which I think you sort of covered, but what do you think we can do to encourage more people to eat wild game?
I think I kind of touched on it previously, and I think it's about making it accessible to people, making it people comfortable eating it. Realising you don't have to. eat really hung game. For me, venison that is a lot fresher is perfect. Same with kind of grouse and the game birds. I think, you know, the more we can kind of be more playful. For me, you know, I try and touch on nostalgia. So, you know, if you're doing Kentucky Fried Pheasant, for example, something like that, you know, something that people can relate to.
Yeah.
And that's the perfect way to get people to eat more game. And to a degree, we need to re-educate people on how to cook game. 'Cause you don't cook it like you cook chicken, for example. So, you know, the more we can get videos of chefs cooking game, the more accessible it is to people. I think fundamentally we need to stop shopping at supermarkets and go back to buying from our local butchers.
Perfect. Yeah, we agree wholeheartedly. Thank you so much.
No worries.